In this video, we are going over 5 signs you will never be a professional footballer. So if you have ambitions of getting to the pro level or just getting to a higher level and improving every single day, then pay attention because we're going to go over 5 things you have to absolutely avoid. And I'm also going to give you some things you can do in place of the things you should avoid. This video is sponsored by Arrogance Sports, where you can get 15% off of their line of soccer products by clicking on the link down below. Arrogance Sports sells a variety of soccer goals of all sizes and for all ages, along with other training equipment like rebounders to help you improve your game. They are not only great for team training, but for your own individual training as well. I personally use their products during my own training sessions, and I love them. Click on the link down below to check them out for yourself. Let's get into the video. What's up, guys? It's Dave here from Simplysoccer, and on this channel we are helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch, and we do that through weekly soccer tip, technique, and training videos. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any new videos that we release. And I want to make sure you're getting as much good training as possible. Now in this video, I want to go over 5 signs that are going to prevent you from getting to that higher level you want to get to, even up to the professional level. And these are 5 things that pros avoid, and I'm also going to give you a few things that you can start doing in place of these things. So numero uno is arrogance. And what I mean by that is you can always tell a player who's never going to get better, who's never really going to improve or tap fully into their potential by whether or not they are arrogant. Now, arrogance does not mean confidence. Arrogance is a sense of entitlement. It means basically you think you deserve something without actually earning it. Being confident is a great thing to be, but arrogance is something a little different. It's that player that just thinks he's amazing for no reason. It's that player who thinks that he just deserves to be on the pitch in the starting 11 on the best team possible without actually putting in the work in the background. This is the #1 killer of players' potential, so don't let it be the #1 killer of your potential, because if you become an arrogant player, you're just never going to fulfill the potential that you could be fulfilling. So be confident, but not arrogant. And if you think you are an arrogant player, it's okay. Just start working towards being more confident instead of arrogant. Now, one thing you should do instead is become a learner. Now, a confident player is a player who learns all the time. You think of a Messi or Ronaldo. Do you think they don't listen to their coaches? Do you think that they think they know it all? No, they listen to their coaches. They listen to the experts. They review their own game all the time, trying to learn more and more and more about how they can improve their game. So if you want to be a better player, if you want to get even close to the pro levels or actually get to the pro level, you need to be someone who is constantly learning more and more about your own game and more about how you can improve in different areas. The second sign that you're not going to make it as a professional footballer is if you are being average. So let me explain what I mean by this. I mean, you're a player who shows up to the pitch, you go through the motions, you do what you need to do in order to make the team, you do what you need to do to maybe make the starting 11, but you don't do any more than that. Essentially, you're only doing what's necessary. You're not going that extra mile. You're not standing out on the pitch. You're just doing what you need to do in order to get by. The professional players, especially the players at the top of their game, do everything they can in order to improve, to stand out. They don't even have the word average in their vocabulary. So if you're just like, I'm okay doing it this way, I'm okay with just this level, I don't need to get any better because I'm on the team, I'm playing matches, that is going to be your demise in the end. You have to always be looking to improve. You have to always be looking at ways you can add more to your game, how you can challenge yourself, what you can do with nutrition, fitness, all of these things. And if you're just settling for the bare minimum or what's necessary, you're not going to get to that level that you want to get to. Number 3 is poor fundamentals. Yes, You do need certain areas you stand out in, but every single professional player, even at the lower levels, has incredible fundamentals. And you know, if you ask the best coaches, the best players, they'll tell you that as you move up levels, the fundamentals become quicker and crisper and better to the point where players have mastered them. So if you think doing simple passing drills is beyond you, you're wrong. If you think doing simple dribbling drills is beyond you, you're wrong. Practicing those fundamental basic skills can be some of the most important skills and fundamental practices that you actually put into your training. You know, the better you get at those simple things, those fundamental skills, the better a player you're going to be. Because again, the higher you go up the levels, the better the players are at those fundamental skills. Fourth sign that you're never going to make it as a pro player is lack of discipline and focus. And this is one of the things, if you watched my video on why I didn't become a pro, one of the things that hurt me in my development as a footballer was never developing that really incredible discipline and focus on this one thing. Because the fact of the matter is, if you're always distracted, if you're always focusing on too many things at once, so you know, you go out with your friends every night, you do your soccer training, but not as much as you should be doing. You're playing video games. If you're splitting your focus between too many things, you're not going to get as good as you possibly could. And you have to avoid those distractions, avoid the video games, avoid going out too much, avoid doing things that are taking away from your sole focus, which is becoming a better footballer. This also means you're not being as consistent with your training. You're not as disciplined with your training. You know, a player who really, really wants to get to that level is training as much as they can without burning out. They're consistently doing things. They have their own schedules they're following. They're doing things maybe they don't even want to. They're doing deliberate training, which isn't always the most fun training, but they're doing it and they discipline themselves to do it because they know it'll make them a better player. So if your training's all over the place, you're skipping days, you're not really doing it fully when you actually are at the field training and you're kind of just going through the motions, you're not going to really get to that level you want to get to. Essentially, you have to start living a pro athlete lifestyle before you're even there. You know, again, you want to start mimicking where you want to be. So if you are an amateur player or a college player and you want to get to the pro level, what do pros do? And do as much of that as you can. If you start living a pro lifestyle, you start doing the training you need, you develop the discipline you need, you play with good players, all this kind of stuff, it's only going to increase the chances you get there. In fact, it's another thing the college coach told me, Casey Moore from Alvernia. He said that players who want to get to that level need to start dedicating their lives to getting to that level. In fact, I'll put that clip in here too so you can get an idea of that. And again, this is coming from a successful coach who's seen players go pro and who's been a pro player himself.
And I mean, things like dedication, commitment level, fitness levels, those are really, really increased when you get to the pro level. I mean, these guys are now getting paid to play the game, so they have to truly take care of their health and their bodies. And
their whole life's dedicated.
Yeah, so now, you know, their whole life and whole day is dedicated to being a great soccer player or trying to make themselves a better player throughout the day. You know, they have that kind of that motto that they need to get better every day. A lot of players truly don't make it because they don't ever fully commit themselves or dedicate themselves to get to that level. Like, you'll hear players talk about how they would love to be a pro player. Well, there is a lot that goes into being a pro player, a lot of commitment, a lot of sacrifices that if you don't make them, you might not make it to that level. So it can be that cut and dry, but you have to dedicate a ton of your time to getting better basically every single day. Like, what are you doing today to improve yourself so you're better tomorrow, and so on and so forth.
All right, guys, final sign, the fifth sign that you're not going to make it to the pro level is having a low soccer IQ. This is one of the most overlooked areas when it comes to your football training. That and the mental side of the game, two very often neglected areas. And neglecting this area is basically going to kill your career. You need to make sure you're focusing on these areas and not just the physical area. Essentially, your soccer IQ has to do with how quickly you're able to act and think on the field. It has to do with your decision making, because it doesn't really matter if you are the most skillful player on your team. if you make the wrong decision more times than not, you won't even get in the starting 11 on a half-decent team. Your soccer IQ is incredibly important. It includes making the right decisions, seeing things that other players don't see, maybe certain through balls. Maybe you see certain patterns of play and you're able to break them up, and other players can't do that. Maybe you see and know when you should shoot and when you should pass. These are important decisions you have to make in a split second when in a game situation, and if you're not able to do that effectively, you're not going to be able to thrive at a higher level where mistakes are not as forgivable. I've done multiple videos going a little more in-depth on soccer IQ, so you can view some of those if you are interested in learning more about this. I'll link one down below for you, but just understand that having a high soccer IQ is so important if you want to go up the rank, up the ladder in level in football, and especially if you're an aspiring professional player. Again, if you're just making wrong decisions left and right, you're not going to be able to play at that level. So it's super important that you learn what this is and you work on it consistently. All right, guys, so those are 5 signs that you're not going to make it to the pro level. Now that you know these 5 signs, and sure, there are more, but these are 5 that I thought were really important. Now that you know these things, make sure you are avoiding these things. If you find that you are doing these things, make sure you're working on the opposite of it, or some of the things I gave you, for example, like becoming a learner, becoming more confident, working on your soccer IQ. And if you do that, it's only going to increase your chances that you move up levels. Thanks once again, guys, for checking out the video. Please share the video. That's what helps the channel to grow and for these videos to reach more players. So I really, really do appreciate that. Also hit that like button. I appreciate that as well. I will put 2 other videos up on the screen for you so you can continue to improve, to learn, to grow as a player. And as always, I will see you in the next video.